red stick, the ferrule, and our lovely tournament brought to you by Columbia SC Sports. The penalty box in this game will be sponsored by Pokemon Go Club, reminding you that ice is weak to fighting fire, rock, and steel. We'll be saying that every time somebody hits the penalty box today. That's kind of cool. All right. Just a few seconds left before we get started here. Your skaters for today. For red stick, number 18, Edgar Allan Toastop. Number 1-800, MC Jammer. Number 2, Cherry Bomb. Number 2319, Pinkavicious. Number 3, Julia. Number 333, Fluff U. Number 36, Killer Queen. Number 47, Napoleon Blown Apart. Number 626, Catastrophic. Number 812, Eagle Eye. Number 824, Lunatic. Number 84, Froggy Mercury. Number 88, The Glimmer. Number 9, Chupacabra. And their coaches, Unholy Horror, Fun Police, Glimmerazzi, and Hunk Williams. And I want y'all to be loud today, too. Please. There's not a lot of you in here, but be loud. Your skaters for Columbia Junior Rollers this morning. Number 007, Mad Danger. Number 11, Little Bit. Number 101, Soul Crusher. Number 11, Salt. Number 12, Fright Bite. Number 1373, Kick Puncher. Number 151, Clara Bear. Number 23, Bodacious. Number 241, Hippo. Number 399, Imp the Shrimp. Number 439, Slaya. Number 653, Shorty. Number 709, Smasher. Number 720, Hell's Bells. Number 7718, Go-Go. And they're joined by their coaches, Bug, Eddie, and Holly Evan Hunter. All right, are we ready for some derby? I am. I want more and more derby today. We got a lot to go here. So hang out with us all day, if you will. The zebra huddle disperses here, we can get going. Slaya, 7 lead jammer. That turns into a power jam. Deep Glimmer hanging out in the penalty box, and now we're going to switch that out. And the penalty box, again, sponsored by Pokemon Go Club, reminding you that ice is weak to fighting fire, rock, and steel. Deep Glimmer now back in action, trying to get that first pass through the pack. But the blockers don't make this easy. Slaya back in action now. So Apex Hop on the way in. And that'll put 4 up for First Blood to Columbia. Slaya just laying it down on the jammer right there. Advancing, but knocked out of bounds to the inside, caught himself, recycled to the back of the back. Trying not to cut today. There's another 4 for Slaya. Columbia down a blocker to the penalty box, sponsored by Pokemon Go Club. Apex Hop by the Glimmer right there, but that'll turn into a cut track. We go to the end of the jam there, so we're going to start off power start for Columbia. Is your jammer for Columbia. No lead jammer declared. 4 up for a little bit already. The Glimmer trying a little bit of star search there. Through the pack that first time. And now with the star back on, but we won't have a lead jammer this go round. So we finished out by jam clock on this one. Four up for the Glimmer. 4 more for a little bit. Columbia down a couple blockers now. Sitting in the penalty box, brought to you by Pokemon Go Club, reminding you that ice weak to fighting fire, rock, and steel. And it's a power jam for Feral. The Glimmer, the only jammer on this track right about now. Jam clock's going to take us out, and that'll be that. It'll be a power start for the Feral on this next one. Catastrophic, your jammer for the Farrell. And does grab lead off of that first pass. A little bit back in scoring position there. In a bit of a power jam for this moment. And again, the jam clock will take us out of this one. Another 4 for a little bit. Right around the outside edge. A little bit just evading that block and ducking under it. Catastrophic grabs another penalty, and that'll keep it in a power jam now for a little bit. About 30 seconds left on the jam clock right now. A little bit with another 4 right there. That's 20 so far. A little bit squirts between two blockers right there at the end. Grabs 24 out of that. And advances Columbia 56-20 now. Official review on the floor, or rather a timeout charged to Red Stick. And it looks like maybe an official review too. All right, we're going to go back to it. 22:47 left in this first half. Salt will be your jammer for Columbia, and that's Fluff U for Farrell. Salt with lead jammer. Salt taking a big hit, knocked to the inside there. And right on through that pack. for 4 up. Farrell goes down one blocker in the penalty box. Brought to you by Pokemon Go Club. Salt with a spin move to the outside, evades a block, puts another 4 on. That was a big hit, big block right there. Salt just bounces right back up and keeps on rolling. Another 4 up, that's 20 for Salt so far. Now Salt just running right into him and right through him. 24 for Salt right now. Salt with 28 points. 3 seconds left on that jam clock. That goes to the end. Don't know if there's maybe 1 or 2 more in there. Nope. 28 points racked up by Salt on that run. 84-20 now. Columbia over Farrell. Start this next jam with about 20:15 on the clock. Eagle Eyes, your jammer for the Farrell, and that's Leia for Columbia. Slaya getting sent to the penalty box for cutting the track on that one. It'll be a power jam for the Farrell now. Eagle Eyes scraping right around the outside, grabs lead jammer. Farrell goes down a blocker. Penalty box brought to you by Pokemon Go Club. They want to remind you that ice can't fight fire, steel, and water. Fire, rock, and steel, rather. All right. Slaya about turn back into turn 1, grabs another cut track. So we stay in a power jam for the Farrell. Here's the end of that one. $84-24 now. Farrell picking up 4 on that last jam. Picked up the points, got stuck back in the bloctagon repeatedly. Catastrophic grabs lead jammer for the Farrell on that power start. Big ape at top right there. That'll be for Catastrophic. Play has got that first pass through the pack now. 8 so far, 4 catastrophic. And that won't get called off. $84.32 now. The Pearl going back into positive territory. Little bit's your jammer for Columbia. Lunatic for the Feral. Little bit grabs lead jammer. Does all the hoppity things on the inside lane and grabs lead jammer. Hangs right in that outer line and picks up 4. A little bit ducking the block on that next round after being locked out. Now it's a cut track for a little bit, so we go to a power jam for the Feral. Lunatic still working on that first pass. Teammates trying to break up the Columbia blockagon. A little bit back in action and does a terrific little hop there to grab 4 points right out of the box. 9 seconds left on the jam clock here. That's what will take us out a little bit with another pass. But grabbing a cut track right there towards the end of the jam, that'll give us a power start for the Feral. Starting off with a power jam for at least 30 seconds. Timeout, charge to the Feral. Around after this bout, coming up after is Red Stick versus Charlotte Roller Derby. Off with a power jam here. Catastrophic gets a cut track penalty there. We'll switch out jammers. It'll be an abbreviated time in the box. Now a little bit back in action. finds a path to the inside, grabs lead jammer. A little bit with 4 up. A little bit with another 4. Catastrophic with that first pass completed. Catastrophic with a nice apex hop there to the inside, grabbing 4. A little bit to the outside, grabbing 4. That one will get called off before there's any more scoring completed by the Farrell. 12-4 on that run. A little bit grabbing 12, and Catastrophic grabbing 4. Galt, your jammer for Columbia, just grabbed the lead. Cherry Bombs, your jammer for Farrell, found a way through that first pass, and now that gets called down after maybe an acquisition of a few, maybe. Or it could just be one of those 0-0 things. I think that's where that one went. Official timeout on the floor. Your current score 108, Columbia Farrell 36. 11:52 is where we'll start when we return from this official timeout. Want to remind the folks here to visit all the vendor tables and that giant bake sale in the middle. They always have some tasty things available for you at really good prices. All right, an adjustment here. That puts Salt in the penalty box. It's a power jam for the Farrell on the start of this one. The Glimmer is that jammer. Glimmer with lead jammer after that first pass. The Blockagon coming together so efficiently and stickily. There's 4 up for the Glimmer and the Farrell. Salt now back in action. There's 1 pass completed. There's the end of that one that gets called down. 7 up for the Farrell on that one. 108-43 now. Right at 11 minutes left in this first half. Leia grabbing lead jammer. A little bit by force there. Cherry Bomb is your jammer for the Farrell. Trying to work on that first pass through. Three blockers now in the penalty box for Columbia. And that penalty box brought to you by Pokemon Go Club, reminding you that ice is weak to fighting fire, rock, and steel. Cherry Bomb through that first pass and grabs another 4. So Schleo calls that one off before they get back around on a scoring run. We'll go 8-4 on that one. Current score 116-47. Columbia on top. Start this next one right around 9.5. Napoleon blown apart is your jammer for the Farrell and grab the lead jammer right there out of the box. Most of the blockers are off the track for Columbia. Penalties can hurt you. Nothing doing on that run. We stay at 116.47. Start the next one about right around 8.5 left. Galt grabs a back block penalty and will spend some time in the penalty box, brought to you by Pokemon Go Club. We got a cut track for Cherry Bomb on that one. We'll switch out jammers immediately, and that'll be a decreased amount of time the Cherry Bomb will be in the penalty box as well. Salt back in action on a power a few seconds there. That's first pass. Salt fighting it through for the first 4 out of this one. Cherry Bomb with that first pass completed. Salt with another 4. Jam clock will take us out on this one. Salt gets knocked down, spun around, but stays in bounds. Keeps it going. There's another 4 for Columbia. Cherry Bomb having a seat in the penalty box for just a bit. Power jam for Columbia right now. Salt knocked out of bounds, recycled to the back of the pack, and resumes the campaign here. The end of the jam clock on that one, 131-47 is where we sit now. Make that 131-49. We'll start this next one. Yeah, just under 6 left. Shlea picking up lead jammer. And this is a power start for Columbia. Shlea picking up first 4 out of this one. Sticking to the inside, but knocked out of bounds and recycles to the back of at least half that pack. Shlea just knocking the blockers out of the way. Stays in bounds, picks up another 4. Cherry Bomb come up with a star pass. Now Lunatic is your jammer for Farrell. Lots of mix-up in that one. And that'll do it for that jam. 12-0 on that run. Shalea taking most of the opportunity away from the Farrell blockers holding off their part. Time is dwindling. We'll be about 3 minutes, 30 seconds when we start this next one, somewhere in that neighborhood. 2-3 more jams out of this. Bodacious grabbing the lead jammer for Columbia. Killer Queen, after completing that first pass through for the Farrell. Bodacious with the first 4 there. Blocker spending time in the Pokemon Go Club penalty box right about now. Bodacious with another 4. It's 8-0 so far, but we'll assess towards the end of this where we land. About 50 seconds left on that jam clock. Farrell laying down some solid blocks there to stop the progress and to gain about 4 on that one. So 20-4 on that last run. We sit at 163-53. We get at least one more jam out of this one, at least. Be right around a minute and a half when the next one starts. Just under that. It'll be Salt jamming for Columbia and Fluff You for Farrell. Salt had one to beat, just spun it around and took it out. Salt sent to the penalty box. High block. Lunatic, by the way, now your jammer for the Farrell. Salt coming back in. Was this the penalty? The jammer clock will take us out to this one. There's 4 up right away for Salt. Now the Farrell working a octagon there. Will be able to take a seat in the Pokemon Go Club penalty box. Now down 2 blockers for Farrell, down 1 blocker for Columbia. Do this next one. Slight pack advantage for Columbia. No, not this next one. But that took us to halftime on that one. So we go to intermission, sitting at 174 to 53. I suppose the skaters going to have to remember where they were when they start this one back up. All right, the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. Please feel free to move about the cabin, use the restroom, grab yourself some refreshments, and return to us for another flight of Derby here coming up.
Will you tell people they can buy shout outs for $1? I'm modeled after my favorite announcer.
I love you. Just so you know, shout outs are available at the bake sale table. You can buy one for $1. And as long as it's, kind of clean, I'll say it for you.
Shout out that didn't have beach space. I'm gonna move it to today. Yeah, the sticky notes.
Yeah, they bring them up very
Few bits that spent one of these though. Carolina.
We nailed all the sponsorship things too. Maybe that one bout that I wasn't announcing they didn't.
Might have been. Yeah, I don't know.
I did tell them to do it.
I don't know if you just did it or. Yeah, there we go. Alright. So, write it on here.
It's the Good Luck Bear one because I set that up 20 times yesterday. Yeah, I said that about 20 times. Every time she lined up, I was like, "This one brought my Good Luck Bear." It's all right. I'll do it again. I don't care. It's kind of wavery though. They paid for it for one game.
Tried the mom asked me to do it. He's coming down the board, so.
I go back and look at tape of last night, and it's in there. I have video,
I don't think
video
you'll
and
be
audio.
after this.
No, I know, but I mean, I want the league to get the support that they deserve. Huh? Yeah. Okay.
Very well.
Cool. I got him.
I got you. Okay, thank you.
Certainly. Test.
Tax report.
Just before we get started here, a shout out to all our sponsors: Columbia SC Sports, LMNT Stay Salty, Tucker Minerals, You Call, We Haul, Double B, your hometown hardware, Country Cafe, good food, good mood, Spoken Word Consulting, the word is out, and Friends of Rocky Ross, root for Columbia Junior Rollers. Since they're out here on the track, you have just the opportunity to do that. We left off 174 to 53. Few penalty things sprinkled around. Everybody back in their places here soon, and we'll be back in action. Leia, your jammer for Columbia, and grab a lead right there. Cherry Bomb, your jammer for the barrel. Working on that first pass. Cherry Bomb playing a little star search there. Meanwhile, Slaya putting up 4, 8 so far. Makes that 12 now for Slaya. Cherry Bomb looking like it's going to be a star pass here, maybe. Or maybe that'll get broken up by the blockers. There's another 4 right there for Slay at 16 so far. Make that 20. Did have a star pass right there at the end. That one gets cut off before the Ferals can get around on a scoring run. Go to 194.53. We read at about 23:15 or so, 28:15 left in this second half. When we begin again? MC Jammer, your lead jammer there for the barrel now. A little bit playing a little star search and pops that back on after that first pass through that one will get called down. 1 point up for the Ferrell on that last run. Salt does grab lead jammer coming through the pack on that first pass. A lot of communication here on the track. There's 4 up for Salt. Napoleon blown apart for the Ferrell, trying to pick apart that first pass through. Salt, second scoring run, making it 8. Both teams down a blocker, one blocker each in the Pokemon Go Club penalty box. Reminding you that ice is weak to fighting fire, rock, and steel. And after a brief dance with some blockers right there, Salt grabs another 4. Eagle Eye now the jammer of record for the Farrell after his star pass. And the Bloctagon swallowing that space up. The track cut making it a power jam for Columbia now. They'll hold on to 20 after that run. Go to a power start for Columbia. And that'll be Slaya right there at the jammer line. Slaya's got lead and 4. And that remains a power jam now. Flag sent back to the penalty box for cutting the track. Well, up on that last one for Columbia. We'll be right at about 23 when we start this next one. Rocking the lead jammer here for a minute. Little apex hop, grabbing 4. Eagle Eye putting together that first fast with the Bloctagon is holding on for just a bit there. Power jam for the barrel right now. straight back into a power jam for the Farrell. Just a brief little time on the track. Full time out on the floor. All right, 20 minutes, 31 seconds left in this second half, and we're about to start it off again after that little zebra huddle. Grabs lead jam out of that, of course, and starts scoring. Go untouched almost at next pass. Block tangles all over that track. And yet one removes and remains. Jogo just keeps pushing through. That was a highly skilled defensive jam. That was a quick one. 16-0 up for Columbia on that last run. Official timeout on the floor. Yeah. That gives me time to remind you of a few things. You can get shout outs at the bakery table. You can also, during the remainder of the games, if there's a penalty box or a jammer line or a start line that you would like to sponsor, by all means, do that before the end of this tournament. Leah with lead jammer. The struggle continues in the middle. Meanwhile, Leah put up 8 so far. Makes that 12. Leia gets cut in the. Oh no, I blocked. Forearm. So we leave Farrell on a power jam situation here. Napoleon blown apart trying to get that first pass completed. Leia back in action. There's another 4. And yet another 20 points so far for Leia in that matchup. Foundations will be your jammer for Columbia, and this cherry bomb right there for Farrell. Bodacious finds a path around the outside, grabs the lead jammer. The Columbia block tangle hanging in there for Cherry Bomb to prevent advancement. Cherry Bomb will head to the penalty box. So we have a power jam for Bodacious in Columbia. And that penalty box brought to you by Pokemon Go Club. In the 3:10 to 62, 12 and a half left in this second half. We'll be ready at about 12:15 when we start this next jam. A little bit. Grabbing lead jammer from that initial scramble. See Glimmer through the pack, and that one gets called off before the Glimmer can run around on a scoring run. 4-0 up and down on that one. 11:50 left on the main clock. Be right around 11 and a half. We start the next one. Oh, is your lead jammer. For Columbia, there's 4 up. MC Jammer trying to pick through that first pass through. Laying down efforts. Teams are laying out counter blocks and trying to knock apart those blockagons. MC Jammer went through the pack the first time, but they got called down before any scoring could be completed. 8 total for Columbia on that last run. We read around 10, 15 or so when we start this next jam. Slaya through the pack just like that, and lead jammer Chupacabra through the pack about the same time. A lot of speed in this one. Slaya laying down a hit it and quit it on that one, 4-0, and preventing the score from Farrell. 9:43 left on the time clock. We will start this next one right around, say, 9:30 or so. 9:30 to go in this second half. And the road just opened right on up for Go-Go. Napoleon blown apart, stuck in a blockagon right now, courtesy of the Columbia Junior Rollers. Go-Go finding a way through, grabbing 4 off of that. And a backwards way out of that second pass, that second scoring pass, grabbing 8 now. Go grabbing another 4. That one ends up, and it's a jam. And we'll be back right after this official timeout. All right at 8:47, let me start this back into this stuff. Jam number 14 now, the second half. Chupacabra with was holding the lead jammer, but we got a pass through anyway. Quicker pass through by the Columbia skater. Columbia will start the next one down 1 blocker. One blocker sitting in the penalty box, brought to you by Pokemon Go Club, reminding you that ice is weak to fighting fire, rock, and steel. Eagle Eye with lead jammer Matt Danger now through the pack on that first pass. Oh, maybe Matt Danger was the lead jammer on that one. I'm getting mixed signals here. So a power jam, and that did make Matt Danger the lead jammer in this one. And now on a power jam. And by the time we figured that out, there's 8 points on the board. What do you know? Matt Danger just getting low to the ground and evading the blocks. There goes the end of that jam clock. Start the next one right around 5:35 left to go in this second half. Official review, I believe. Yes, official review from Farrell. All right, official review concluded. Don't know the result of that one. We got 5:36 left in this second half. About to go back to it. Salt, your jammer for Columbia, and Sea Glimmer for the Farrell. Wow, that was a big effort right there. But Z Glimmer grabs lead jammer. It's like a mini game of red rope. Salt picked that way through the pack for the first pass. Z Glimmer out front with 4 up. And now Salt with 4 up. Thus ends that one. We'll start the next one about right at 4.5 left in the second half here. Timeout, Columbia. We have 4:27 when we go back to it. How to go back to it. 4:27 left on the clock. A little bit your jammer for Columbia. Napoleon Bonaparte for the Farrell. And a little bit grabbing Lee Jammer for that first pass. Making that second pass look super easy and picking up 4. And that third pass looking just as easy. Make it 8. Well, a little bit pretty much untouched on those 3 laps. And hopping over one on that one to make it untouched again. 16. 20. $24, just piling it up. $28. Apex hop to 32. Outstanding effort by a little bit on that one. 36. Right at 2 minutes left here. We're in this jam now. Bodacious just grabbing lead jammer. Chupacabra got that first pass. That one called off. We'll get at least one more jam out of this. Leah, right off the line, lead jammer. See Glimmer on that first pass, while Slaya picking up 4, and that one gets called off. We will have time for at least one more jam. A little bit, your jammer 4, Columbia grabbing lead jammer, See Glimmer. Comes out of that one, comes out of the first pass through the pack, and that one gets called off. And we got just a few seconds to line up. I don't know if we're going to put one together before the time runs out. That'll take us to the end of the bout, folks. Your unofficial score, 412-69, Columbia on top. That'll be your final score, 412-69. Columbia Junior Rollers taking the win on this one. All right, teams, I need your MVPs, please. I need the Farrell's choice for an MVP, please. And then I need to scoop y'all out of here because there's adults taking the track. So, the Farrell, give me your MVP. A little bit? Got it. All right, your MVPs for that one as chosen by Columbia chooses number 812 Eagle Eye as the MVP for the Farrell. And the Farrell chooses number 11 Little Bit as the MVP for Columbia.
Thank you.
All right, now juniors, I need you off skates as quick as possible. We're gonna have adults on the track. Thank you. Red Stick, the track is yours first.